Alright, y'all, so today I want to do a really quick update video for the upcoming Halo Combat Evolved remake. We got a lot of really interesting news, mostly thanks to Rebs Gaming. Like always, shout out to his channel. So, a lot of really interesting details, some good news, some bad news. I'm just going to warn y'all off the gate, but let's get into it. So one of the things is that they're already starting to promote this game. We've been hearing rumors that it could possibly come out in the summer and that Microsoft is going to release it earlier because GTA 6 is going to be coming out at the close to the original anniversary date for CE this year. So basically, they're already starting to do some promotion, and like Halo Infinite, they are doing Fanta promotions once again. Apparently, some of these have already been released, and more specifically, if you buy some of the cans and you get the Master Chief one, I believe for whatever reason, you can get a free Mjolnir armor skin, which as you can see for this picture for the video, it's kind of like a blue, but mostly yellow with some orange on it. I mean, it looks all right. I wouldn't call it an amazing armor set, but it looks cool enough. But the big thing about this is the big reveal that allegedly we are going to get some customization in the campaign. So it was kind of unclear whether, there's going to be multiplayer or not. From what we know, this is just going to be a campaign-only CE remake, but there is going to be some small customization. So they're apparently going to have some armor sets for Chief that you can customize in the campaign, and there are apparently going to be certain twists, and honestly, that's pretty cool stuff. I really got to be honest, I like the little small things. You can customize your armor for the campaign. That's really cool. And this promotion kind of confirmed that you're going to get some customization. And Mr. Rebs Gaming, I guess, contacted his source, and yeah, they confirmed that there's going to be some customization in certain armor sets you can get. It's kind of unclear whether these are going to be like pre-order exclusives or there's going to be some kind of shop in Combat Evolved the remake. I would imagine not, but we will see. Regardless, I'm definitely going to get it. Apparently, they've already been releasing it, so if I do get my hands on one of these Fanta cans, I might make a video on it. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. They're adding some customization, and honestly, I mean, even though this is just going to be a campaign-only experience, hey, it adds some replayability. We also got some pretty big things in regards to the 3 prequel missions. Now, we knew that with the reveal that there was going to be a complete remake of Combat Evolved's campaign. We all knew that was coming. The big surprise was that they're going to be releasing 3 prequel missions that also going to feature Sergeant Johnson in them. We didn't really know too much information about them, really story-wise, what these are going to contain. And thanks to Mr. Rebs Gaming and his source, we have a little bit more information on these 3 prequel missions. And I gotta say, they're pretty damn interesting. So, one of the details that we found out is that the enemy faction in these 3 prequel missions is not going to be the usual Covenant. They're apparently going to be a really religious sect of the Covenant. They're going to have completely new models and assets that are going to be built from scratch, and they're described as being really religious in nature, and they're going to be brand new. What these could be, I don't really have no idea. They're just kind of a brand new faction of the Covenant. Really interesting stuff, though. Really cool. I mean, the Covenant's already a super religious organization, and to have something even more religious is kind of crazy. But that's really cool stuff. It also is going to have it's also going to kind of spotlight a rivalry between ODSTs and Spartans, and there might be an ODST character that kind of exemplifies this in the 3 prequel mission story. And that's another interesting detail. If you don't know, ODSTs and Spartans in the Halo universe have a pretty big rivalry between each other, especially since John, aka the Master Chief, was kind of set up to accidentally kill a few of the ODSTs to kind of train him by, I think Oni set that up. And it was a big thing, part of the prequel story, The Fall of Reach. So there's always been kind of an interesting rivalry between the two sects of the military. And apparently that's going to get a spotlight here. Really interesting stuff. We really haven't seen that in a Halo game, like a mainstream Halo game. I mean, like I said, if you dive into the books, you dive into maybe very few of the animated stuff, yeah, you know that exists, but in terms of a mainline Halo game, you've never really seen that. So that's really cool stuff. That's an interesting part of it. In terms of where the setting's going to be, now people have been speculating, is this going to be set on Reach, which would be pretty cool. But from what we know, it might not be set on Reach. Apparently, though, it's going to contain a huge homage to Reach. Whatever that could be, are we going to actually go to Reach, or are we just going to see it from space, or some event's going to happen in the 3 missions? We have no idea. My theory is I kind of figured we're not going to go to Reach just because I feel like the work to do Reach would be too hard on the developers. I feel like this might be certain like space stations and something orbital that we would do, but I would imagine there would at least be some kind of reference to Reach, and yep, that looks like it's going to happen. So overall, my quick opinions on all the new info for the prequel missions, it looks great. Though I will say that I really can't tell you what this is. I really want to know more information. I want to get a basis, like a basic synopsis of this. And it's kind of frustrating that we don't have any information just because Xbox and Halo Studios have been radio silent about this remake. And I'm hoping that, at least with the Xbox Game Showcase, at least by then, we'll get a big reveal of everything, including the story and the synopsis for the 3 prequel missions. And now for some other information. So Mr. Rebs Gaming also contacted his source, and he also said some other things. One of my big criticisms of the Halo CE remake was the fact that there was tons of assets from Halo Infinite being used. I was really disappointed they didn't use, or at least remade old Halo CE assets and did it in that kind of style, just because that hasn't really been done in a modern day version of Combat Evolved, right? There hasn't been really an attempt to do that. And one of the big problems of Anniversary was the fact that they copy and pasted Reach assets everywhere in that game. And that was one of my criticisms. And I kind of assumed, oh, well, the developers have time, they can fix it. Well, some bad news. Apparently, the Halo Infinite assets are staying. I guess for whatever reason, the developers are going to use the Halo Infinite assets. They're going to stay. But I guess he said this with a big caveat, but they might look slightly different once we get to a final build of the game. So whatever that means. Whatever that means. So I guess they're going to polish up the assets and hopefully make it look like it's not a bunch of copy and paste assets, which it is. But honestly, really disappointed in this news. I'm not sure why. I kind of assumed it was because of a rush of development. They probably didn't have enough time to remake assets from the ground up. I get it. It takes time. It takes money. But I do kind of confuse myself I am a bit confused why they're doing this for the prequel missions. I get it for the prequel missions to a certain degree, but the main experience of the game is still the remake campaign. I am just a little bit disappointed they're going to just be copying and pasting, infinite assets. And I guess you can make an argument, oh, well, they can technically get away with it just because it's, a remake. It doesn't have to be exactly like the original. But it's lazy. It's just laziness at the end of the day. It's laziness or Microsoft's fault for not managing and giving the developers enough budget and time to do it. But, yeah, so according to his source, apparently the assets are going to stay, but they might look slightly different. They might be more polished up. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, they're infinite assets. What can you really do to polish them up? But pretty interesting stuff. He also mentioned in terms of the development cycle, the game is apparently content complete, including the 3 prequel missions, and that they have a playable build of it, which is great. That shows that they're really moving forward on this thing. They're basically making a lot more progress than I originally suspected on this. But yeah, it's content complete. Basically, what they're probably doing right now is polishing the experience and making it very playable, no bugs, no glitches, and making it a very polished experience. Honestly, this is fantastic news because it was really clear with Infinite they didn't have enough content to fill out that game. It felt very in content complete, so to speak. And it's great news that they've already completed and basically they have a playable version of the campaign by now. I would hope so, especially since they're apparently going to release this in the summer. But this is regardless great news. And I hope they can just spend the rest of this time making it a playable experience, polishing it, and getting it ready for a possible summer release. So overall, my opinion, there's some really good news. There's some really unfortunate news. You got to take the good and the bad with it. But yeah, my thoughts on all the Halo CE remake news. All right, peace, y'all.